Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Conversations. My name is Tierza Watts. I'm the Director of Student Life and Campus Community at CU Denver. And I'm excited today to have a visitor with us from Links Connect, Nathan Zackroff, who is part of our internships program or experiential learning. So Nathan, I'd love it if you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and where you went to college.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really happy to be here. My name's Nathan, and I do work with our Experiential Learning Center in Links Connect. I am a Denver native, which I love, and I started at the University of Colorado, Denver in April of last year. So an interesting time, kind of starting remote, but happy to be on campus now and helping students in person as well. I went to the University of Colorado Boulder, and I studied, some liberal arts, English, philosophy, writing. Went on and worked in a couple different roles in marketing and business, and ended up getting my MBA from the University of Denver. But found I was always passionate about working in higher education and found a very great opportunity at CU Denver, and just happy to be back within the CU kind of community.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about what you do for your job, because I'm passionate about making sure that college students know that we do a variety of things. I think they have an assumption that everyone who works at a college is a professor, but we work in a unique area, student affairs or student success. So I'd love for you to tell students a little bit about your job.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I feel very lucky. I have a very unique opportunity to help students. So really my role as an internship advisor is to help students as it relates to experiential learning. And those opportunities are usually internships with communities around the country, as well as our own kind of employer community here in Colorado. So I work specifically with groups of students, both our business, engineering, architecture students, on understanding what internships are, understanding how to apply for those, how to connect with people who are offering these internship opportunities, all the way through interviewing, and then also on potentially getting academic credit for it. So I really get to kind of help students take what they're learning in the classroom and put it into action, and really build up some experience prior to graduating. So feel very lucky and very passionate about internships, which hopefully we'll get to talk a little bit more about today too.
Yeah, now I would love for you to really kind of do a deep dive on how does a university define an internship and how should students define them? I think there's probably this thought that you do it your summer of, after your junior year, and you do it once and it's for academic credit and you don't get paid. So do a deep dive and tell us, how does the university really define all the parts of an internship?
It's a really good setup, because even in my undergrad days, that's kind of what I thought an internship was.
It's when I did my internship.
After school. Yeah, and then you that led to a job. So, really the internship, one way we like to define it is we know a lot of students at CU Denver are working full or part-time jobs, which is fantastic, and it's a great experience to have. But internships vary a little bit, both from an academic perspective and just kind of from a legal perspective in some ways as well. And so, from a part-time or full-time job, you might learn a certain role and master it and do a lot of those tasks day in and day out. Whereas an internship it really is a learning experience. So you're going in and working with high-level professionals, getting a lot of supervision, a lot of mentorship in a certain amount of time. But what you're seeing is that a lot of the experience that you're getting is kind of stepping up from your academic experience. So one thing we look for usually for academic credit specifically is that it does mirror what you're studying. So if you're studying finance, we'd like to get you into a finance experience where you're really getting to, again, network with amazing professionals in very high levels of their organizations, but also your work is really defined around that academic experience. So you get to really take what you have learned in the classroom and put it into experience in a real world setting. So that's a little bit of how we do it. Again, students can do internships that are for credit, not for credit. We'll help with all of that. And again, it is something that can balance out with school, I think, in a really amazing way. But it really is about that kind of mixture of academic learning, what you hope to do in the future, and internships can really provide that kind of mesh work of what you're doing here at the university. Beyond that too, something I love to talk about is in completing an internship, a lot of times we see students do more than one because they want to gain more experience. And we kind of joke all the time, right? Coming out of school, a lot of times the job descriptions for entry-level roles say we're looking for 1 to 2 years of professional experience, right? And for students just graduating, it's like, how is that possible, right? Well, internships truly is one of those ways. And so we work with students all the time who do, 2, 3, 4, 5 internships during their time and really do come out of school with that experience level. And it really does put them ahead in the job market. So all kinds of benefits, but again, just a great way to kind of really advance your career in different ways and get some new experiences you wouldn't necessarily get in a part-time or full-time position.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the funny things when I think back on my internship, I undergrad majored in advertising and communications with a minor in marketing. And I could not find an internship where I lived There are two major universities in that area, and everybody said, oh, do you go to this school or this school? And I'm like, no, I go to this school 3 hours away. And they weren't familiar with our academic program. And so I just couldn't secure an internship. So I actually was an RA in college, and I went to the director of residence life and I said, I'm desperate for some kind of internship with advertising and marketing. Can you help me? And he looked at me and gave me this kind of funny look. He's like, I'll figure something out. And I was like, really? And so I ended up working in the housing office all summer long. And I had this amazing experience of doing print layout marketing of manuals and designing different marketing pieces for functions in the school year. And I ended up getting the best mentoring ever. And he became my professional mentor really for my whole career. And here I am 30 years later. I actually worked for him full time. Fast forward, like 6 years later, he was my boss. And I was no longer I wasn't obviously in advertising and marketing, went into working at a university, but I use those skills every day. And so that was a really interesting mentoring connection. So I'm glad you mentioned mentoring is a part that often comes out of an internship.
Absolutely. It's something that we see a lot, and it's a great addition. These are usually connections you make that will last you a lifetime, right? Because this is something that from an employer's perspective, right, creating an internship really is about teaching and engaging. You know, it's not just creating a job and filling it. They know that there's going to be this sort of interaction and responsibility. And so what that does lead to, I think, is a lot of times is long-term relationships and long-term kind of networking opportunities that can really lead you to all kinds of different areas of your career, some where you maybe thought it was going and some others, but regardless, really great opportunities to kind of explore.
Yeah, I've probably supervised over 40 interns in my career, and I'm still in touch with the majority of them. And they are folks that I took pride being able to tell that first full-time employer as a reference. I could say, hey, this student demonstrates, innovation, creativity, thinks outside the box, problem-solving skills. Like I could really comment on critical thinking, which I think is one of those career readiness competencies that employers really want you to be able to do critical thinking. It's a developed skill and they know that, but an internship helps you on that journey.
Absolutely.
So tell me, what exactly does Links Connect and your team do to help students find or actually acquire an internship?
Absolutely. So we really get to help students from the very beginning stages. So if an internship is just kind of a seed in your mind that you're saying, maybe this is for me, come talk with us, because what we can do is we can talk to you about more what internships look like, where internships are usually done, both in our area and across the country. We've even done international internships in the past. It's something we're not doing right now with everything, but we're hoping to bring those back in the future. So any idea is worth exploring, and we can help you explore those. We can also help with kind of the application process that you may not be super comfortable with yet, which is the resume reviewing and the cover letter writing and interviewing. We do mock interviews. So we really get to help with that entire application process. And then much further than that too, we will help you as it relates to, again, potentially getting academic credit for this. So we work with the departments. We have many ways of looking into getting credit for your opportunity, which we love helping students get credit for that. And again, if it's not something that you want to do for credit, no worries at all. We'll still support you and give you all the resources that we have, and we'll still be here to kind of help you through that process. So from the very beginning seedlings of, is this for me, all the way through to a point where, we're supporting you and even sometimes meeting with you on site and helping you in that process. We're happy to do it. We also do have some scholarships available usually each semester to help with students. So if cost is a part of that, if you're doing an unpaid internship, let us know. We're happy to kind of help and see if there's some financial resources for you as well. So lots of resources, and we love being kind of, conduit to a lot of different opportunities here on campus as well.
Students, pay attention to that. So they do have funding if you aren't being paid at that internship. Okay, I'm glad to know that they can apply for that. Yes. Well, to wrap up our conversation, I know that you guys have a 2-week-long event, or 2 days in 2 different weeks, a job fair and internship fair. Could you tell our audience a little bit about that, since we will push this video out this week?
Yes, please come join us. This is one of our favorite events that we do both in the fall and the spring. September 23rd, we will have our in-person fair. So we are doing it in person at this time, which is fantastic. We're super excited to see students in person again. So you can learn more about that in Handshake under our events tab. We do all kinds of events, but this is one of our biggest. So please check out. We have, I think, over 50 employers who are going to be represented across all different industries. So an amazing opportunity. If you cannot make it in person, the following week, September 30th, we're doing a virtual one that's also going to be in Handshake, so you can sign up there. But we would love to see you come join us. Again, a lot of our students find these great internship opportunities at these fairs, or job opportunities as well. So please, if you have the time, come see us, help us, make the most out of this for you. And beyond that, if neither of those dates work, you can always connect with us just at Links Connect. That's where we're housed. You can find us online. You can find us through Handshake, lots of different ways. But if you ever get lost, Links Connect, that's where we're at. We're happy to schedule time with you. And we have some great staff here to help you through anything you're looking for as it relates to internships, career, Office of Global Education, as well as undergraduate research.
So students, take Nathan up on his offer to meet with you in person. They have a large team over there that's there to support you. And the easiest way to find them, if you've not found Links Connect in the past, is if you come into Tivoli and go to iPie, the pizza place on the second floor, exit the building by iPie, and you're out on a patio, and they are right across the patio, and it's in the Comcast Center. And you'll see Links Connect on the top of the door. So go in there and definitely meet them. I will link down in the description of this video information about their event and about their office and how you can get to Handshake as well. Well, Nathan, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Of course, it was a pleasure.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.